Viewers, I bid you welcome to this video. In this video, we will be getting a Centrac 100 cassette tape recorder and restoring its battery pack. Anyway, we have here a little cassette tape recorder, and well, it contains a very special proprietary battery pack. A rechargeable Ni-Cad pack, which is actually part of the cassette recorder's enclosure. You take the pack out, it's like that, part of the enclosure of the recorder, as you can see. The thing about this pack is it doesn't use a typical sized cell. Now, I already have painstakingly removed the original cells from the pack. It wasn't easy. It had to be done very carefully with a screwdriver, very carefully prying very gently and stuff because some of it's glued. But I managed to remove the pack out of this enclosure without damaging the exterior cosmetics. And then we have two of these battery packs. The old pack has been disassembled. The old batteries, the old cells have been removed. And we'll have to make the new pack using two of these cells here. We will be removing the protective covering off this battery pack so we can get the individual cells out, since we'll have to be using 4 cells to make a 4.8 volt battery pack for the Centrac 100. Look at those little cells. Glue them or something. Easy. There we go. We can let these remain connected like this. Just have to take this wire off. And we take one cell from the other battery pack like that and connect that. I had to disconnect this double part here and connect them together. Cut that part. So we can expose the metal. Just like that. So that metal is exposed. This connection will be connected to the other part here. Of course, once one cell is removed. For any interested parties, this is a microphone that is being used for the audio in this video. Pretty neat, eh? So now we've taken the other battery pack apart. We removed another cell. And we've soldered. This one's positive, so this one's negative. So now we can fold that around When it's all folded around, have the cells in one complete unit, like that. Of course, that solder is a bit thick, a bit of a problem. I don't like how it's so thick. See how much it goes up? It's kind of annoying, you see. Have to space them like that, basically, to match them as long as they fit. See if they fit. They'll fit. No problems with that. So that's very good. We're getting there. We're getting there, man! But we're going to see if we can remove the this tab off of this cell here. We don't want that, well, we don't really need that tab on there. So we got the tab removed. Remove the excess bits there. Because we want these to be fairly flat. Here we have the cassette recorder, the Centrac 100, which I think is a pretty rare tape recorder. One's made by, or one's by the Craig brand, I think were more common. But anyway, it's manufactured by Sanyo. But anyway, we had to figure out which side is positive, which side is negative. We can see the positive and negative are marked on the top part of the case. The negative's on the bottom, so we would ultimately want to put these set of cells in like this. The negative at the bottom, positive at the top. So of course we're going to want to have spacers to push the cells against the edge like that, so they can make good, sure electrical contact with the contacts on the tape recorder. I stuck a piece of foam in here, so I'm also going to stick another piece of foam in their ear. The battery, the cells out like this. And we'll get another piece of foam like that. Actually, we'll do it the other way. Do it like this. And we'll wedge it in like that. We'll make sure it's got pushing on it enough to make a firm contact. And we're not going to glue anything. We don't want to glue anything because we might want to get into this pack later. It was a hassle to take the original cells out. It really was. And I had to do it extremely carefully, and it took a long time because I had to do it so carefully. Thankfully, I had another battery pack like it, except it was silver on the sides instead of black, Craig branded, and it was also really corroded and useless and not aesthetically pleasing. So I used that as a test to figure out how to get it apart. That one was rather destructive because they had glued the sides here too. Thankfully, the Centrac branded one, they did not glue the sides, so I was more able to get it out without cosmetically damaging this pack. It doesn't rattle, which is good. We don't want it to rattle because that might affect the sound of the recorder. So now we have a completed battery pack, 4.8 volt battery pack. Now it says 5 volts, but of course you charge up one of these packs, you're going to get more like 5 volts out of the thing. So if you charge it up really good. So we're going to get a voltmeter and we're going to see how these cells are. These cells have not been charged yet. They've come in a state where it says, important, please charge for 16 hours prior to first use. So I suspect that they have some voltage on them, but they're not fully charged. They're probably somewhere in between. But I still expect there to be, you know, enough voltage on there to read a decent reading on the meter. So we're going to try that. Okay, so we're going to make a measurement of the battery pack voltage. So Let's see what we get. We'll also make sure polarity is correct too. Got a battery pack on here. Reading 5.02 volts. Positive, so the polarity is correct. 5.02 volts on the meter. So already it's actually over the 4.8 volts. It's even 5. It's tempting to go ahead and run the machine. I'll run the machine for a short time, but it'll of course need to be recharged ultimately. But anyway, you can see the pack went together nicely. Right size batteries. I don't remember exactly what size this was. I think it was like 2/3 AAA. Or I think it was 2/3 AA. It was something like that. What I did was I measured the size of the original cells, which are identical in size to these. I measured the size of the original cells in metric. Measured their millimeters or centimeters. And then I went to a certain site. I went to the site called allbattery.com, and there's this big chart. And it's got all the different kind of size cells that are out there, and their dimensions, even their weight. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to allbattery.com, specifically the link that shows the size chart, because I mean, I don't think anyone's out there else has this model recorder, but I'm sure there's other people out there who have some old battery pack, and they're thinking to themselves, gee whiz, what size freaking cell is this thing? I want to get new cells, but it's so weird, I don't know what size cell this is. Well, if you get a ruler or a caliper and measure in metric, and you go to the allbattery.com size chart, you'll be able to easily deduce what size cell. Of course, and then I went on to eBay to order the cells. Now, of course, you could get the single cell, but the single cell is really friggin' expensive for a friggin' cell. Then I found cordless phone batteries that use 3 of the size cell I needed for a lot cheaper than the single cell. You know how that is. So I bought 2 of those and get the 4 cells out of them, and of course they're just the right size to fit into the old pack. And now it's a matter of testing the thing, seeing if it actually works. So I think the contacts are probably clean enough. I might scrape it a little bit. I'll bend them out a bit. Don't want to break them, but I'll bend them out. Try to make them touch harder. We'll put the pack inside. Pack is installed, and we'll see if it turns on. Heck yeah. Well, I have restored the battery pack and got new Ni-Cad cells. I think they're 2/3 AA or something along those lines, and they fit beautifully. The battery pack to the Centrac 100 is restored on the 10th of November 2018, and we can now run the Centrac 100 again as if it was intended. Fit beautifully. The battery pack to the Centrac 100 is restored on the 10th of November 2018, and we can now run the Centrac 100 again as if it was intended. And then if we do a battery check, little battery check button right there, we push that button and we get light. We have restored the Centrac 100's battery pack successfully with these new cells. Pretty fantastic if you ask me, because that was a proprietary battery pack of which you could not find a replacement. This is an outdated tape recorder. It's from the 1970s. They don't make it anymore. They haven't been making it for years and years. It's not a popular model. I look up Centrac on the internet, Centrac 100 on the internet, and find jack squat. So it's probably rare. So where can I find the battery pack for the thing? Well, gotta make it. And it's a success. You go to that battery chart, you can easily find the size battery you need, cell that you need. And using the right size cells, you can assemble a battery pack of secondary batteries for your power need. Hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you later.